Hi folks, this is Wemette coming to you again with another bedtime story. This bedtime story is about vending machines. Basically, after I opened up the store, I found out that you had to have, for any coin-operated machine, a license. And I think the license was like $75 per machine. So I had peep shows, obviously, in a porn shop, and I had to apply for a license for those. Well, then it became anything over 6 or 5 or some figure like that, you had to have what they called a public place of amusement. So when I applied for that, I applied for an adult entertainment use license, which was one of the very few that were handed out in the city of Chicago. But at any rate, what happened was all of my machines were legal, and I think we got up to 18 or 22 in the back room with different channels. But also, I bought my own pinball machines. I went right over to Valley Midwest, and I purchased my own machines, my own jukeboxes, whatever I needed, I bought. My cigarette machine, my Coca-Cola, my Pepsi-Cola machine, whatever it was. But my dad went on my liquor license. He went on the PPA. He went on everything else. And one particular thing my dad did was he decided that he was going to open up a game room downtown. And this was down on the Cuneo Estates on the building. But it was downtown in the Loop. And it was TG Enterprises was the name of the place, but TG Games. But he had quite a few machines, many machines. And at the time, since he was on license for my machines, we both had the same name. I had my name legally changed to Robert Wemette Jr. And I never carried the Jr. So I just signed my name Robert Wemette. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people used to confuse us. I got whistled in because my father was doing some things that he shouldn't have been doing, and actually muscling in on Gussie Alex's territory. Apex Jukebox was kind of the thing, and they had the loop all tied up. But anyway, Marshall Caifano went in to see my dad without me knowing about it. And my dad was very upset, and he told me about it. He said some guys were here, I don't know who they were. And then I got whistled in, like I said. And when I got whistled in, I went and saw Joey, and Joey told me, he said, shut down everything. He said, shut every business, everything you got, he said, shut it down. I got on the phone right away, and I shut everything down. He said, now call your father and tell him to shut everything down. And I did, and my dad said, screw them Dagos. He said, I'm not shutting down anything. He said, you may shut down what you want, but I'm going to keep on going the way I'm going. And I couldn't make him do it. I really couldn't. He'd been through World War II. He killed a lot of Nazis. He was kind of a brave man. He had a Silver Star. But at any rate, Marshall Caifano, I went to see him again with someone else that I don't know who the guy was that went with him. But my dad actually took a pistol out, 38 that I had got for him, and stuck it in Marshall's belly and told him, he said, you Dagos, get out of here. And that was kind of the big beef with Joey. But Joey came to me afterwards, and he told me, he said, go ahead and open everything back up. And I thought for sure my dad was a dead man. I mean, I thought they were really going to kill him. They just weren't going to tell me about it. But the truth of the matter is, what happened was, Joe came to me, put his arm on my shoulder, and he said, we can't be responsible for our parents. He said, our parents don't always do as they're told. And I had the feeling at that time they were just going to whack him. And the truth of the matter is they didn't. They let him slide because of me. And he kind of gave me a feeling of comfort. And he never said he wasn't going to do anything. But he gave me the opinion, it's okay, kid, we understand. And meanwhile, my dad went on, I think he had maybe 50, 60 machines in there. Pac-Man, pinball machines, all different kinds of video games, stuff like that. And he continued to do business and opened up another location at another place. I was part owner in it, I guess. My dad put it in a corporation, put my name on some of it. But as far as all the other machines went, any type of amusement machine, it was licensed through the city of Chicago. I'd buy the tax stamps and the state of Illinois tax stamps, and I'd post them. And I had to put a place of amusement. He had a PPA also, but they weren't giving them out to places unless the property was zoned commercial. That was one of the problems. I was zoned commercial, Z28 or C28, excuse me, and because I didn't have a problem. On some of his places, he was just fighting in court because it was on B instead of C, business instead of commercial. But he lasted quite some time, and I can tell you this, he was never afraid of any of them. I don't know why. I do know stories that I heard about Jimmy Allegretti when he was a younger man, that he knew him. I guess he used to go down to Rush Street quite a bit when he was a young man. And some other people that he mentioned to me along the way that I was throughout history. But I really didn't pay much attention. My dad was kind of a thorn in my side. After he went bankrupt and other things, I took care of him till last days, till he passed away. But that's the story about pinball machines and who got permission. Several times people came to me and they pulled up and they pulled my jukebox out and they started unloading it off a trailer, and they had pinball machines, they had joker poker machines, they had all kinds of stuff, and they wanted to install them in my place. They were told, to come and see me. They told me that they were told to come and see me. I actually threw them out. I threw them out of the place and said, don't come back here again. And they said, but, and it didn't make any difference to me who they were, where they came from. That's the way it went. So that's the story about vending machines, pinball machines, and other things in the city of Chicago. I believe they became legal in 1976. I actually, in 75 or 74, I actually applied for these licenses and got them before anybody else did. My attorney at the time told me, don't get a license, because once you get a license, it's something that they can take away from you. If they give it, they can take it away. And I believe that if I was licensed and I was legitimate, there was no way they could take it away from me. And I was right, they never did. They always asked me who I was when they came in, or I said I owned the building. I was the janitor, whatever. And I said, you want to talk to the owner? That's my father. Where do we find him? I don't know. Look up your records. But that's the way we did business in those days. I want to look back and reflect on the way JL treated me, Joe Lombardo, and it was pretty good. The way my father treated the mob, it was like he didn't want any part of it, period. He was ready to actually kill somebody if he had to. But if he did, it was going to be a made guy. It was going to be somebody that was had some power. It wasn't going to be a muscle man that would come and see him. Anyway, that's my bedtime story for this evening, and I want to thank you very much for all you people who are interested in watching. Someone asked me about this particular one. I forget your name, I'm sorry, but I wrote a book, as you know. It's called Nobody Cares and What I Did About It, the Red Wemette story, and it's available right now at the moment at redwemette.com, redwemette.com. It's been taken down off of Amazon and Barnes & Noble because of some creative differences I had with my publisher. But we are no longer in business together. John Paul Owls and the Owl Publishing Group. I made other arrangements. He decided to dissolve the partnership, and I agreed to it. But anyway, that's so much for tonight, folks, and thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a great evening, or whenever you're watching this, enjoy your day. God bless. Bye now.